Box 24. 24 out of 26? I was wrong about the number of boxes. Why was I wrong about the number of boxes? Why is it that I'm revisiting issue 82? And why did I have to buy flashlights to finish R2? Those questions and more will be answered today in this episode of Yourgeekfix. So here we are on box number 24, which I've been saying for a while now, out of boxes 25, because that was the way the math worked out in my head. But the thing I kept forgetting was that you'll remember the first box that we opened only had 2 issues inside of it. So it only had 2 stages. And that means we have to make up those 2 stages somewhere. And where they put those was in box 26, which is mostly kind of finishing some things up and then operating R2. So I've got this box, the next box, and the final box is basically what I'm going to be doing. And actually, in real life, outside of this video, I'm actually doing that all right now. And so I get to see the finished product tonight. But I can say that at least all these will be done after today. Now the first thing I want to cover is this. This is issue 82. And if you're wondering, well, why am I referencing back to 82? Why is it that I'm revisiting it? You might remember that we have some sensors that we put in. These sensors right here, the ones that go on the front of R2 right here. And the thing about that was that when I put them in, it made a clicking noise and the sensors weren't responding the right way. So some people actually wrote me back and said, hey, the clicking is normal. Well, they don't click anymore because I just contacted Fanhome. They mailed me that issue again. And the upside to that too is I also got some more screws, which is pretty exciting. But they sent me 2 new sensors and I went ahead and put those in. And when I test those, just so you can kind of see how it's supposed to work. So I'm going to turn on my little box here. You remember this setup that we had before. So when I switch on my power, the first thing that we're going to see, whoops, right here, what we're going to be looking at is this right here. Now that light right now is lit up because right at the moment there's stuff sitting in front of my R2 unit. When I moved them out of the way, suddenly that light disappears. So if I put my hand in front of it, it comes back. When I move it, it goes away. So you can see that the sensors do work. Also, they both have to be plugged in order for them to work. So it's kind of a bilateral sensor. And so if you only have one plugged in, they won't work. It's the 2 of them working in tandem that make that happen. So now that that's all fixed, I'm going to go ahead and switch that off. And I'm going to disconnect it from my test boards here. And I'm going to put my test boards away over here. Oh, this also came with a new set of wires. And I'll put that over here. I also decided to take a lot of things off of my table. And I'll also show you this. I was able to go through, I took all the screws I have so far, and I'm gonna take these ones as well that I just barely got, and I was able to integrate them into my box. There's not enough spaces for all the types of screws, or the bolts, or the nuts, and so for that reason, I wasn't able to fully organize it, but this is how it can look. I think one of the next things I wish I could do, now that I kind of know what the screws are and as I see them fit, is to label them. That would be great. It would take me a long ways. I think that part of my issues have been due to the fact that we don't have any labels. Somebody mentioned the World of Wayne, who I've also watched myself. The upside for him is that he actually did this model before he got contacted by Fanhome to build it and built it again. So he actually has built it twice now. And I think he learned a lot of things from the first time he built it. But this time, we're opening up our new box, which doesn't have a ton of things inside of it. We've got our magazines at the top, which is 91, 92, 93, and 94. And then we've got some more parts. This, by the way, this box and the next box There's so much building that's going to be happening. This is going to be, it's just like it's becoming more and more intense. No more putting two pieces together anymore. It's like we are doing some major building. We will actually have a majority of him assembled today just with this box alone. So, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and take this and shoot it right onto my light, apparently. Okay. And so let's hear, we're going to organize that a little bit. 93, 94, 92, and 91. And with our magazines, you can already see just how much we're going to be building just in this magazine alone. So we're going to be getting a lot of stuff done today. In these magazines, a lot of you actually made comments about something I said in one of the last episodes, which is about those prequels. Some people really like them, some people don't. It's amazing how divided everyone is on this. I've kind of shared some of my experience. This episode right here, actually, I saw it twice, and I always have a hard time remembering it. I remember this scene, but it wasn't something that stood out to me a lot. In this case, we talk about Ben Burtt working on the first rough edit of Attack of the Clones. And it's funny. Look at that. This shows you how much of a build this is. I mean, we had, how many pages was it? Typically when we do these magazines, it has multiple pages, almost chapters of information. And then this time, it's like 2 pages, boom, let's get building. And part of the reason for that is because this magazine particularly is, let's see here, this is page 6, 7, 8, 9, we're going all the way to page 15 to get done with this. So I took a majority of the stuff off my table, but at the same time, we're gonna be bringing most of it back just to do this build. So starting off with bag 91. One thing I liked about the last package too, it seemed to have a lot of pre-scored bags, so I didn't have to bite. You know, I was trying to not, ooh, this is cool. I was trying not to have to do anything that I have to have a tool for that they don't give me. Speaking of tools, it looks like they gave us a tool right there. Look at that. That's pretty exciting. Also some more screws. That's also very exciting. And some nuts and bolts, and more nuts, and some more of these. These are for our wire management, and part of our foot that we were working on last time, which I believe is what I have to bring back. It's that foot that we were working on. And then we got a little caster in here. Look at that, a little tiny one. Very, very cute. Okay, so that's for the front foot, and I think I'm going to keep the rest of this inside of that package right there. All right, so the first thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking these, it's not that, these right here. I'm going to unwind that, taking that off, perfect, and I'm going to be bringing this part right here, and what we're going to be doing is holding down the right micro switch. Oh, that's what this is. Yep, sure enough, these are micro switches. Same thing you use for cutoffs on a lot of things. And so, how do I know which one's right and which one's left? Does it really matter? Oh, the one is black, one is red. That helps. Okay, so we're taking the black one. They should just call it the black one. We're taking the black micro switch on this part right here, and I'm gonna align the little holes. There's little pegs right here, there's little holes right here, and I just slide that down onto there like that, And except on theirs, nope, I want to flip it over, sorry. Flip it over this way. There we go. So the switch goes out this direction. And this is going to act as a sensor later on. Now I'm taking the red side, doing the same thing. Yep, opposite direction. People are walking around upstairs, and I am so anxious to get this done. I'm not gonna, unless they start making a lot of noise. Like, unless they make it really noisy. I probably don't care too much. Alright, I just want to make sure my wires are going to be free from getting pinched later on. Alright, so we got those two on there. As you can see, they both stick out just like that and like that. Then we're going to take these wires right here, uncoil those. Let me get it off there. There it goes. Alright, we're going to take it like this now. And I'm going to be taking my little, I've got a little, yeah, tiny board here that looks like this right here. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take that and I'm going to be hooking the smaller end of that into here, just like that. Okay. As good as it's going to get, like that. And then we're going to stick that downward with the so that it basically goes, let's see here, yeah, it goes this direction. So you see that there's a hole right here that should line up with another hole where I'm going to be screwing a screw, and then the other down here at the bottom we can see our two sensors. So what kind of screw are we going to be using? A 2.3 6mm self-tapping screw. Alright, boy, I shouldn't have over tightened that, but still, it went in, it is in there, looks good. Okay, next stage, I see why we had to plug that in too, because now we don't have any way to easily do that, but my wires are going to be in the way. I hope that's not going to be an issue. Next, oh, they're telling us what to do with those wires a little bit. I'm just going to be bringing this up this direction and these this direction, just like that. Okay, and then there's some white pieces right here. I'm going to take those out now. And what we're going to be doing, yep, going on here, just like, it just kind of covers up my wires, is all the more that does, and keeps them out of the way, like I was mentioning. So I'm going to fold them over like this. There we go. And then I'm clicking my switches there. Okay. Now, what screw are we doing that with? We're fixing that with the 2.3s as well. That last one works, so that means, whoops. Last one works, so that means I can keep using some more of these. I do believe. There we go. That's a 1, and here's 2. Alright. One side, cable managed. The other side doesn't have as many cables to manage, but same principle. We're using it to kind of keep my cable out of the way. And whoo! There we go, just like that. So now those wires are out of the way. Now I need to get myself out this wrench tool right here. That's pretty good. Then we want this part right here. So it says I'm going to be taking this on the bottom here, sticking it in here. You notice that also it has the same shape right here as right there, so it should fasten right in to fit. So it should be able to swing around like that now. And then on this side, I'm going to be taking first one of these, sticking it like that. Then I'm going to be taking one of these, putting it like that. Then I'm going to be putting on this, which it says to use my wrench, but having done this sort of thing before, very aware that it's, whoops, sometimes it's not the easiest thing, although I want to make sure that it is locking on okay, and then we can take this, oops, and just going to turn that a little bit more here, and particularly because I wanted to get that spring washer nice and flat. Oops, I want to watch out for my wires though. Great time to ruin the wires. If I break anything on my way this time, it'll take me a few weeks to get new parts, so yeah, don't need that. Okay, now with those in place, it should look like that. Turn to the page here. Next, we're gonna bring back our parts for the foot. Some of those parts include this part right here, this part right here. These parts I put into a bag, luckily. And then, okay, so the first thing I'm gonna be doing is taking this piece right here, and I'm gonna be stringing through, oh, all of these. I'm gonna take all of those and stick them through this little door, this little window right here, I should say. So just like this. That one there, this one here. Okay, just pulling those all the way on through. And then I need to use this right here and this right here. Let's see, which one am I starting with? I'm starting with this one. And so I'm going to be taking this and I'm going to be putting these parts just like, first I gotta do it like this. There we go. Making sure that I don't pinch any wires while I'm trying to do this. Okay. There we go. Oop. Alright, that's it right there. You're gonna have it stuck together like that. And then 6mm screws. Just like that. Alright, so now we got that all screwed together. Fit the silver trim details to this recess. Oh, right. We got some greeblies. We need this side, basically. There it goes. Okay, so we stick it on like this. Then the other one, we do the same thing. Stick it on like this. On the opposite side. Okay. And then we've got this detail right here. We're gonna fit the pivot through the two holes. So it's this pole right here. I'm gonna stick that through these two holes just like that. Then I'm gonna be sliding that down into this side of the foot. So this side right here has this recessed area. It's gonna be sliding down into that little hole right there, just like this. Okay, just like that. And then it'll just sit there. Sounds good. Carefully sticking it all together. So, oh, we do the sides first, and then we'll take care of the other. So first I'm going to try and stick on this part in a way that slides onto all these pieces that have things that need to slide, including that pivot piece. But that part's kind of the hardest piece to do on it. Alright, and I didn't pinch any wires either. Okay, got all that stuck together. Let's see here. Now we're going to take this part right here that has my two sensors, and we're sticking it on. So I pull my wires through, I believe. So you can fit the foot together. First, yeah, I want to pull the wires through a little bit first, but then I want to add some screws. And those screws, in this case, are my 2.3 6mm screws, which I actually have, luckily, plenty of. Let's see how many I need here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. So, 1. So they're kind of shorter screws to go into that part, but let's see. Yep. Okay. Then we're just sticking this part on. It says just fit the base onto the assembly. Sounds good. Again, I'm going to pull my wires out a little bit here. And so we got our... I see now how this works though. I know they'll probably show it to me later as well, but remember our 2 cutoff switches right there. When this little bumper hits, then of course those click. So I guess this is if he runs into like heavy things. Any rate, and then you also have these sensors to tell us if we're running off the edge of a table or something. Then I'm going to attach some 2.3 6mm screws, more of those. Okay. Woo! So we got this wheel on the bottom, the sensors, our cutoff switches, and then all these little details and these gribblies. You might be looking at this though and saying, hey, that's ugly. That looks pretty lame, having just big holes there. Well, guess what? I know at least eventually we will be filling those. Hey, how about right now? So some of these are a little bit slanted, some of them are a little more flat. That makes it a little tricky for sure. Right here, that one, and that one. I do appreciate the way that they're cleaning up these holes. That's good. Like that. So at this point in time, we have our assembled front foot and wheel completely done. So pretty cool with our wires coming out and ready to do something. Of course, you know, those sensors, because we have sensors, that means that we're going to be testing sensors. I'm going to have my testing kit out here. So I want to make sure this is turned off before we go testing something in each case. On this occasion, let's see here. It looks like this sensor plugs right into here, like so. And so if I now, I'm trying to remember, would it be solid or, I don't know. I can't remember how far it has to be away from things. Oh, there it goes, there it goes. If I point it up at the ceiling, geez, that's a really far away. So this is to let us know when it's safe, like that, right? When it's facing down, it's green, that's good. And when it's over a precipice, when it's over the side of a table, it's gonna turn off. Green, off, green, okay? So that's my sensor part. And then, like I said, the other thing they're talking about is this clicker right here. So, any rate, I'm gonna switch that off now. Unplug those sensors. Again, keep in mind, we're still just in this one magazine, so we still haven't changed magazines yet. I think that's part of my leg. Speaking of legs, let's grab left leg. It is my left leg. That's my right one. And there is my left one. Okay, so I've got my leg right here, and of course we have all these flimsy wires just hanging out, and I want to make those look a little bit better, so I'm going to be grabbing this right here, which we've used before. I'm trying to see, are we doing all the wires? We are doing all the wires. And so I'm going to, there's a couple ways you can do this. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the other leg. Okay. And alright, now we got it on both sides. Run along there. And then got three legs here. Pretty exciting stuff. Then what I'm going to be doing is taking that left leg together with the body, which is over here. I'm going to be taking, again, the left leg, and I'm going to be sticking all this stuff through this shoulder right here. You know, humans have very little space in their shoulder for everything from your nerves to arteries, and And so it's really common to get something called an impingement, which is where basically one of those gets cut off. You can lose circulation or lose sensation to the arm. So the last thing I want to do is have R2 run into the same problem. Okay, so I fed all that through. Now, what we're going to be doing, align the locating lugs in the leg frame so that the 4 mounting holes match up. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. 4 mounting, oh, I see. Wow. What? Okay, I see it. The problem is, speaking of impingements, the worst one is this thick black wire. Let's see if I can pull on that one. It's kind of in my way. Oh, there we go. Okay, should look basically like that right there. You see how the black wire was getting in the way? Okay, I don't want to let go of this now. All right, so now we want to joint the frames with 2.5 8mm screws, which they just gave me. This is gonna be hard because I can't let go. I can't really afford, oh no, to let go even if I don't really have it. Maybe. Okay, I'm guessing I'm going to be jumping over to the other side. I got a little rattly part because the first spring thing that I tried to put in came loose, and now it's just somewhere random in there. Do I care enough to get it out? Maybe. Maybe I do. Interesting. I'll just have to deal with it. Now take the right leg and do the same thing. Feeding these through. I don't know if I didn't follow instructions earlier on in the game or what it was. This is a metal piece. I forgot about that. But they gave us this key, and this key is for locking that into place, but also can unlock it. So I was able to take it off, luckily. And now I can proceed to putting that part onto here using the same guidelines. Like I said, once again, it's the black one that's causing the problems, the wire, because it comes from a slightly different side. That is that sensor, you might remember. And let's see. Okay. Woo! And now you notice he can't stand up like this because he needs one more leg, right? So I don't know if that's what we're doing next. Let's see. Yep, we got all that on. We did that. Oh, we want to bring these now. They actually feed through these holes right here. There we go. And there we go. So now I can just keep on sliding it on down like that. And same thing with this one right here. Stuck on the outside. There we go. Then we're using this little tool that they gave me right here. See this little tool? It actually comes in 2 pieces like this, and you just stick them together like that. And that acts as a kind of like a special screwdriver for that, a little piece. So then what I can do is I can take these here, and if I can get it where I can see it better, here we go. And I'm gonna just slot that on, and then I can turn it like that, and it's now inside of there, nice and secure. Okay, I can do the same thing now on the other side, just sticking this right on in here like Whoop, that. Turn it. Boom. Yep. That is now officially on there. I better hold on to this tool because obviously, if I ever need to fix them or take them apart, I need to be able to take that off. So, anyway, now, still on the same magazine here. Next page. Oh, we're gonna take the bottom of R2. Here he is. This part right here, we built that last time. Got the little switch and the plug. And I'm gonna be flipping them over just like this. Boom. Just like that. Which way is which? It looks like we want the power portion sticking out this direction. So if I stick these just like, this one has to go through the middle like that. Yep. And then we slide that on just like so. I'm guessing that this is gonna be something eventually. Okay, so now I got this on there just like that. So I think the first part where everything was high enough, I can actually see it on my camera where my face is. So that's how high just this portion is. Got my little switch here. I'm going to turn that off just in case we plug it into something. And so it says, screw the bottom panel to the frame with 2.56 of those millimeter silver screws. I think I'll do 2 opposing screws first. And that way, oh yeah, that's nice. That way I'll know it'll stay lined up all the way around. So just like this. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and okay. Now, take the completed center leg. I don't know why I was thinking that that hole right here was gonna be for a battery, but it's because it's not. So we're gonna be sinking those wires through there first, just like that. Perfect. Now I've got my foot on. I'm gonna hold it like this as I rotate it around like this, so that it stays in place. Hopefully, yeah. There it goes. Okay, and now we're going to be using some countersinking screws, which I can only send through this direction, going down. So, that's that part. Once when those are all in place, completed assembly, the framework should now look like kind of like R2. We're starting to get where he actually has his R2-ish body going on. Look at that. This little front clicking thing here. So, anyway, 92! Well, I've been waiting for this opportunity to tell you a little bit about, you can see this one has more information before we actually get into the actual build. So, first off, 92 looks like a pretty big package, right? Ooh, is this pre-scored? No. Okay. Whew. All right. This right here is our actual battery pack, and this right here is a charger. Why do we need a charger, you might be asking? Well, this next page is where we get into something that you didn't know when you first got this, which is that you have to buy batteries. And if you're wondering why do I have to buy batteries? In fact, I will tell you, these aren't just any batteries. You need to be getting batteries like this. These are the ones literally that they show you in the magazine, as you can see right there. I actually had to find them by looking at the name that was on them. In these case, it's called Ultrafire. Now I know in the UK, and in other parts of Europe, it's near to impossible to find these. I couldn't find them either here. I had to order them, and when I tried to look them up, it was hard for me to buy them. And the reason for that is because we can't just use any batteries. What this page is telling us about is the fact that R2 has his own set of safety systems. You know, so he has his own protections to keep us from overcharging these lithium-ion batteries. But the problem with that is that for that reason we can't use batteries that have their own built-in protections. Also the other thing to notice, this is a button top. If you watched my build of the Proton Pack, you probably saw me use a big battery that was a flat top and flat bottom. The problem with those is that they look the same on both sides. You run the risk of putting it in the wrong direction. And so to make sure that nobody did that, they went with the button tops. Button tops tell us which end goes to which end. But again, they have to be unprotected. So what does unprotected mean? Well, unprotected means that typically most batteries that are rechargeable, as you might have seen that I've used also in some of my other builds, they have little circuits in them or other things that tell it when to stop and to cut off that charge. So that way I can't overcharge a battery. So why are we using those unprotected? Well, it's because, like I said, R2 has his own protection. So if we used protected batteries in this R2 build, then it wouldn't work correctly because basically those protections would work against each other and you can't charge them. So you do have to get these exact type of batteries. You have to get unprotected batteries. These specifically are 3.7 volts and 2600 milliamps and no protection. So that's what you're looking for online. The type is 18650 lithium-ion batteries, the 3.7 volts button top, and with no protection, with a capacity that's about 2600 milliamps. And so, yeah, that's what I got. But when I went to buy them, the issue is you can't just ship things like here in the United States. You can't just ship these kind of batteries anymore because these particularly are of a high risk of blowing up, and so they won't get through customs or they won't get through the postal service very well. The security might catch them. There is a rule that if you're going to be shipping these kind of batteries, they have to be tied to an actual device. So I don't know if you've ever gone on eBay before or even Amazon. Some things you might buy that are lithium batteries come with random things. Like they'll come with a circuit board that has nothing to do with anything. In this case, mine came with these flashlights. So if you were wondering why I was mean earlier when I said that I had to buy a flashlight in order to, finish this build of R2, it's because that is technically what I'm buying online. I'm buying one flashlight that comes with 4 batteries. Now I'm going to need, I think it's 6 total. Yes, 6 total. So for that reason I had to buy 2 of these. They came together. I bought them on eBay in the end, but as you can see, so I can plop this down into here and put this right there, and I've got myself a little flashlight. Look at that. It's pretty bright actually. It's pretty, oh, it even has, ooh, okay. But I gotta turn, oh look, it even has an LED for the button. That's not bad. I mean, for a flashlight that's basically, it came free with my batteries. Here's the sad thing, buying these kind of batteries is not cheap. Mine, for all, well technically I got 8, but for me to be able to get these batteries, it cost me about $60. So I know, that's the hardest part about this. But there you go, I have my battery. So the thing that we're going to be doing in this section is preparing those batteries. We want them all to be the same level of charge. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking this thing that it came with right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be popping those in here. And it tells you where, so there's the positive side, there's a negative side. You can look on the battery too if you're worried about a positive, negative. And then you can just pop that right in there like that. look at that. Isn't that cool? So yeah, it tells you what the current charge is. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using this. I'm going to be plugging it in to a charger, and I'm going to charge it until each one says FUL or full. And so once when it says that, then I can take it out, and I want to charge all 6 to that full status before I can pop it in to R2. So that's what I'm going to start doing right now. All right. Do not charge the batteries. Attempt to fit them to the battery box or install them in an R2-D2 until instructed. Wait a minute. Now, it does tell me here that we should wait until they tell us to charge those, but I'm doing the next 2 boxes tonight, so I need them all full, and this says it can take up to a half an hour to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and that was all that magazine, was just that. All right, moving on to the next one now. Okay, I'm gonna move that part out of the way for a minute. If you're wondering why I'm leaving some of these screws out this time, you know, I was trying to keep things all nice, but as I'm looking at it, you know, I have the screw box, and some of the screws that they just gave me are not similar to other screws that I already have. And I don't have any more compartments without mixing ones that I shouldn't. So that's a problem, right? All right, so next, bag 93. Mountings for the electronics. So this is just stuff that we're gonna hook other things onto, basically. And so, step 1, we're going to be taking the main R2-D2 assembly right here, plus the battery bracket, which is this one right here. That looks like that. So, taking that, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go back over here to my R2. Looking from the top down, putting this just like, yeah, there we go, like that. And then I'm just going to be screwing that in. Not a lot of working space here. Be able to get this stuff in here. Ooh. I mean, it's like, it's very tight. But find out where these screws that I don't seem to have any matches of go is for this, so at least I'm getting rid of them so I don't have to keep track of them anymore. We'll find out here. There's like no room for the screwdriver to even fit through to okay. There we go. Alright, so I've got my battery pack space thing. Next, I'm gonna be taking this plate. This one goes this direction, this one goes just like it is. And then I need, there's a motherboard I'm going to be putting in there. And I don't know, I guess I got a motherboard at some point in time. Oh, is it this one? It is this one! Well, I guess we're not going to be testing things anymore because we're about to be fastening this. We've actually been using this for doing all of our testing of the electronics. So now though, we're actually going to be sticking it in, starting on here. It looks like there's little pegs that will stick up through it, just like that. And then, moving R2 out of the way here a little bit, looks like align the cover. Oh, I don't have to screw anything in. I'm just taking the cover, taking it over like this, lining it up, clicking it together just like that now, and then flipping it over to fix 2.3 6mm. That's the ones that I have the most of. I love it when I get to use the ones that I actually have plenty of. It's okay though. Alright, there's that. Now I'm going to be taking that and attaching it to this thing right here. Specifically, it looks like the way that we're doing it right here, you'll see that I have two little sticky outy things. Right here we have two little female versions of that. I'm doing it inward like this, and then we're going to screw it right here on the bottom here. So this time we're using the same screws. Okay, and then got that part connected together. Next, we're going to be sticking that, like, there's not even a room to stick this in here. That is so bizarre. Let's see. Okay. Jeez. Oh, barely, maybe. Yeah. Hang on. I gotta get that out of the way. And then, oh, I see. It's like that. Aha! Okay. And, okay. There we go. They're saying that that is the completed assembly for that one. Bring us to last magazine in this box. Issue 94. Oh boy. Let's see here. And now use this one right here, and for it to be packaged like this, it has to have electronics in it. Let's see. Oh look, this microcontroller is for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't know. Definitely smells like electronics. Holy cow, look at that. That's quite the setup. I can smell, yeah, definitely smells like electronics for sure. Turning my page here. Woo, this looks like real, like Star Wars stuff. I'm gonna be taking this, I'm also gonna be taking some of these clips right here. And what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna take the MCU, the two cable clips provided, and four 2.3 6mm self-tapping screws, which are the ones that I have, and I'm going to be just attaching those to the bottom of this. Alright, that's that one. Okay, so we got these two clips that are on here, and again, kind of looks like Imperial design. Flipping it over, you see this side right here has two lugs on the back, which are used to fix the circuit board on a bracket, a BF68. So over here, I've got this part down here that we put in. We're gonna be bringing that down to here. Like I said, there's two lugs that are on the back. Those will fit into the wait, if I can get it to fit. There we go. There we go. And then I'm just going to push that down and lock it into place. Supposedly. I mean, it did. I kind of was waiting for a click, but there's no click. So, all right. Let's see here. So I've got that. Yep, looking good. And that's it. It just says that's basically how it looks at this point. And that is the end of box 24. That means in a few moments for me, I'm going to be putting box 25 together, followed by box 26. And that's it. That's it for R2. And look at how much we've already completed. Look at that. Huh? Look at that. That's going to be my thumbnail. And I want to thank Fanhome for providing these parts. Also, if you're interested in actually purchasing this model, check the links below. And don't forget to use the promo code R2-D2. Also, don't forget to check out our Iron Man build and other big videos that we got on the way. In the meantime, like, subscribe, comment below. This is your Geek Fix.